this is Dr. Gale, and welcome to SNHU 501. This is a tiny, exciting time for you. And in this particular video, I'm going to just introduce myself, and I also want to give you a heads up on a couple of things. First of all, there's two different ways to get into the discussion forum, and each different way will give you a different view. And you want to make sure that you get everything done in the course, and so that's why I'm going to explain the different ways. Some of you may have already discovered this, but this is just a reminder for those who have, as well as a heads up for those who have not. So if you go over here to the left-hand side of the course, you can click on, I'm on Module 1, you can scroll down here and click on here. And that seems to be the logical thing to do. And then you see just Discussion 1. However, if you come back to Course Menu and you go to Discussion, you'll see that there's more than just Week 1's discussion. There are places where you ask questions. So the general question area is where you ask any question about the course. It's important that you ask your questions here, because likely someone else has the same question as you, but are a little timid and don't want to broadcast it here. But this is the place to broadcast your questions. There's also another discussion forum that is required in this first week, and that's getting started. And it looks like it's the same as the discussion down here, but it is slightly different. And so you want to make sure you not only do this, but you do this. I do see that there's a fair amount of students have responded to the Week 1 discussion, and they did so before the course. I've been checking that out. But I noticed that no one has responded here, so it's really important that you do so. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I know that most of you have possibly never taken an online course before. Certainly you have, if you have never taken an online course at Southern New Hampshire University. So this course is all about acclimating you to the rigors that you will face in your graduate program. And so that's what it's about, is as well as to get you used to academic writing. And there's a difference between professional writing, the writing you've done maybe outside of professional writing, and academic writing. Academic writing is significantly, it ups the ante, if you will. So with regards to getting to know you and I, my first experience in online learning was at my doctorate level, and I got my doctorate at Capella University online. And I chose it for probably many of the reasons why you chose an online program, and that was convenience. I just did not want, I live up in New Hampshire, and I just did not want to drive to UNH, University of New Hampshire, twice a week to get go to courses. In the wintertime, it's brutal. And you walk, and they rarely close classes. One thing that's unique to University of New Hampshire is that they don't put the heat on to conserve. And so you sit there in class, because I got my master's degree there. You sit there in class and you bundle your clothes, your nose dripping like crazy, and it's just not a pleasant experience. Not only that, I just really didn't find anything I liked there. So I happened to belong to a listserv of school psychologists, and someone asked questions about online doctoral programs. And I thought, wow, that would be interesting. So I checked it out, and I ended up getting a doctorate there at Capella University. And when I first started, I thought, oh, there was like, I just really wasn't that tech savvy at the time. I wasn't too afraid, but I was afraid I was going to click on something and ruin everything. But I had a very understanding instructor, and she led me through the process. She was right there for me. And before I knew it, I was a pro at online learning. And you will be too. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I like teaching 501 because students are new to online learning, and I can share some of my experiences with them, as well as guide them through the process. Outside of all of that, I own a house in Florida, and I also live in New Hampshire. So in May through the end of September, I'm in New Hampshire, and then we go down to October to Florida, and then we come back, and then I'm up here in New Hampshire from November and December, and then the 1st of January, I'm down in Florida, and I stay there until the end of April. And I love the process. I have the best of both worlds. And I am an online teacher. I'm an e-learning instructional designer, which means I create online training programs for universities as well as courses, as well as organizations in general. And I love that. I simply love it. But I also love teaching. And so I do have my hands full. But the neat thing is that I can go anywhere in the world and still work. And that's really why I'm 100% online. I love to garden. In fact, I'm working on my garden now. And I have a large, large garden in the back of my house, but I also plant some vegetables around my house that need a little bit more sun. I like to read. I like to go out. Um, I like to shop online. I don't think I've been in a store since Amazon came about. And so that's just a little bit about myself. I do have 2 children. Christopher works for Blizzard.com in California, and Sarah is followed my steps, my earlier steps. My earlier steps in K-12 through education, and I was a special ed teacher. I'm certified as an elementary teacher, special ed, learning disability specialist, reading and writing specialist, and principal. So she's followed my steps in special education, and she now earned her master's degree online as a curriculum and what is it? Curriculum specialist, administration and curriculum specialist. So my children, at least Sarah's in education and Christopher's in technology. So and they're grown. So again, I'm gonna learn a little bit about yourself, and you're gonna share yourself with others, and that's going to be our first week. So my next video is going to tell you a little bit about the course.